Hey everyone, I'm Jeff Bakalar. I'm here with the lovely Scott Stein. We just got back from a live Nintendo Switch debut event here in New York City, and we're back to talk to you and each other about what we thought of that event. So Scott, what did you think, man? This was a crazy sort of first hands-on with the Nintendo Switch. We know all the details. We know it's coming out March 3rd. It's $300, but this was the hands-on stuff. So how does it feel to play Nintendo Switch?
There's a lot of expectations. Is this going to be like a 3DS? Is this going to be a Wii? Is it going to be a Wii U? It kind of felt like all of them, but it also felt like if you ever played an NVIDIA Shield tablet, which it's got NVIDIA tech inside, basically it almost felt like an Android tablet or a Windows tablet into which they're running Nintendo. I don't know how to explain that. It felt really nice, but the actual tablet has more of the feel of almost like a PC component.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's a little heavy.
It's a little heavy. It's got vents at the top.
Right. That's the machine right there.
That's the whole thing. And the controllers are nice. It feels like a 3DS type of control with the analog stick of a Wii gamepad.
Right.
Wii U gamepad.
So in terms of how it feels to play, you have that gamepad tablet thing. The two Joy-Con controllers that flank it on either side can come off, and when you take them off, they're these little sort of like half crescent controllers, and I found them to be very small and maybe not the most comfortable little things in the world. Yeah,
those got weird. They were a little bit like super-powered Apple TV remotes. There are a lot of buttons. There are more buttons than you would find on your Wii remote.
Yeah, it's kind of disorienting. We played a game called 1-2 Switch, and you and I were milking. We were milking cow udders, and every time we would milk them, they would just like vibrate and feel weird, and I thought that was a strange example of the power of this thing.
Yeah, those were like, it was like an away from the TV thing where we were supposed to just be playing in a party game, looking at each other. They claim there's very advanced haptics. To me, they felt more like kind of like better haptics that you get on a phone, or maybe the Xbox controller.
But not super strong. They were
not super strong.
They were talking about Rumble HD. I don't know why HD. I don't know how you can classify Rumble as HD, but this did not feel like superior.
No, I didn't feel. They talked about clinking of ice cubes in a glass. You know, I didn't feel a cow udder, thankfully.
Right.
But you know, it was a vibrating, different pulsing that was going on. And the question is, in the games, will that matter? I noticed when you tilt some of the games, like the ARMS, the boxing game we did, it would give you feedback on how much you were tilting.
Yes.
But I had to get the feel for what that meant.
I think that we can kind of gloss over for now. Yeah. You'll have to experience it for yourself. Overall, I think people are going to want to buy that Pro controller. That's $70 extra. To me, that kind of feels good. The grip, which will house the two crescents, that comes with the box, so you can kind of decide if you like how that feels. So that's how it feels to play. When you're holding the tablet, the right Joy-Con joystick is a little lower than the one on the left. That's a little
That was a little unusual.
And I found that to be a problem when we were trying Splatoon 2.
You had to map it out. The screen looked nice, but it's 6 inches, so it's crisp but not great.
Right, there's a pretty significant bezel around it. Okay, let's go into the games real quick. You and I first started, we played that game ARMS. This is with like the accordion hands, boxing. What'd you think of that?
I thought ARMS was a little hard to control. I thought it was fun once you started getting into it, but understanding how you curve your shot, because not only can you throw your punch with motion controls, but there was some Wii Sports type angling of shots, depending on how much you twist your wrist. Yeah. There were a lot of buttons, so again, it was which shoulder button are you pressing?
It's
getting
weird
the feel for that.
When you hold it in the profile sort of like thumbs up grip that they keep using to describe it. You can hit a lot of buttons by accident. Like however you decide to hold it, you are going to have the option to hit a bunch of things.
That's a great description. Yeah, there are a lot of buttons, every surface, and then they didn't get into that one of the controllers has an IR camera that can recognize gestures.
Bottom,
so that wasn't employed in games. So the question is, if it's only on one, what games will do that and how?
There's a lot. We'll get to the questions we still have at the end of this. Then we played Splatoon 2, which I thought was pretty good. We were playing it on the tablet. I didn't really, I don't like the lean aiming thing that they do. They let you, in the first game, make it an analog thing, so hopefully that won't be a problem this time around. What did you think of Splatoon 2?
Solid. It shows you can play a TV game on the go. So I thought it did a good job with that. The screen size seemed right. It felt like playing a Wii U game, on that gamepad, but fully on the go.
Right.
I'm a little uncertain about how much of the game could be played hunching over that smaller screen.
Yeah.
It felt like I wanted to see more. Maybe just that I was looking for details and doing that, but it definitely was. It was functional.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Zelda. I didn't play Zelda that much at this event. I played it at E3. I keep looking at that gameplay. Yes, this is the game to play. Obviously, it's really the only game to play, but it looked a little choppy. I just think like there's maybe going to be a bit of a performance hit when you bring a mobile. I don't know yet. We don't have it, but I'm not concerned. I just noticed that.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that too. I was watching people play. I was kind of like walking around and observing a lot of the gameplay. You know how Zelda, plays in general, but the game, it's weird because the Switch is supposed to go into two different types of processing modes. It's when it's in the dock,
Right,
it's
when
meant
it's docked,
to
it's like full power.
overclock. Yeah, and so that's going to give it potentially a little more graphics boost. And so how does that even out when you're playing on the go versus there? It's supposed to seem equal, but it's going to be
different. And does that mean like when you're playing Zelda portably, that's the 2.5 hour battery life that they were, lowballing it at?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. Then we played Snipper Clippers. What was it?
Snipper Clipper, yeah.
Is that what it's called? Snipper
It's
Clippers?
Snipper
It was a
Clip.
fun little
Yeah,
puzzle
yeah.
game. That was kind of the surprise of that event. And then Sonic
really cute.
Mania.
Yeah, and Sonic Mania, which is a 2D. That's
Basically like Sonic 4 or whatever the last one
right.
was.
It's a truly remixed
true-
idea of like retro Sonic,
Yeah.
coming out for other platforms too, Xbox One and PlayStation
Right.
4.
Real quick, we got to wrap it up. What's the outlook? What questions do you still have? For me, I like the price. I'm very concerned about the fact that there's only one real launch game to get. Zelda, looks great, but if I don't like Zelda, I'm not buying this thing. You've got the new Mario game coming this holiday. That's a long ways away. I think people have every right to sort of be a little skeptical about like, why am I buying this if there's only one game? What are you concerned about?
I want to see what else it does. They didn't talk about whether it even streams stuff. I mean, the other Nintendo, like the Wii U, does stream Amazon and Hulu.
Right.
Sounds like a small thing, but I mean, if you're taking this on the go, connected to your TV, giving it to a kid, what about a Kindle app?
Sure.
What else does this do? We don't know about the interface or the apps. And then games, retro games. The NES Classic.
Yeah, like what's the deal with that? What's the online like?
Right, we heard about this service that's going to cost money, this online service. They're going to give away one game. Is it one game a month, or is it you can rent a game a month? It was a little unclear.
Right.
And they're retro games. So what's the virtual console stuff? How many of those games can we play? Because people want to play those classic games. And are we going to have to reboot again? Because clearly, yes, but how many times are you going to do that? Because you have all these games you may have already bought.
Do you have to buy these again? What's the deal?
Right, are they just going to sell these one by one
Yeah.
again? So I'm concerned and curious about that.
So that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching. Nintendo Switch coverage is all over CNET, so make sure you watch and read and catch up on everything there is to know about Nintendo's brand new console that comes out March 3rd for $300. It's right around the corner. The
really
review
soon.
It's going to be coming real soon. You want to ask us a question on Twitter? I'm at Jeff Bakalar. He's at Jet Scott. Make sure you do that, and we'll see you very soon.